I do not accept a coffee or a walk as a possible date option, and neither should you. First of all, I'm not a dog that needs to be walked. Second, I have an espresso machine at home, works fabulous. We're not doing drinks either. You're gonna try to get me drunk and take me back home. No. We are doing dinner. You're gonna pick me up. We're gonna come to the restaurant. We're gonna see your table manners. We're gonna see what you order. We're gonna see, do you hold your chopsticks correctly? We're just gonna, study you a bit. Okay, so dinner it is.
Thousands of tears later.
I started the egg freezing process. I did some preliminary tests which showed that my egg count is really low, and I know a lot of women struggle with this. I had a ovarian surgery last January, and I knew that I have endometriosis and I had like a giant cyst on my ovary, and the doctors told me that the doctors did tell me that might affect my fertility, but we didn't even start like the actual egg freezing, so it still might be that my eggs are high quality, but there's just not a lot of them. It's just so sad. I've been like crying the entire day, and people say like, oh, you're not alone, this happens to so many women, but I mean, it feels very alone. Lonely. I don't know, like I just feel this giant pain in my stomach right now. How's your day going?
How could this possibly ever have happened to me? Lamented Cornelia Slunjiski, who is a Croatian influencer of younger girls, and her message stresses the mantra of never settling for less, as she is the best friend to her 300,000 followers across platforms. And I should stress, and at least it's good to know, that the pain in her stomach was not morning sickness. But how does the influence and attitudes of the woman, that being Cornelia, how do those attitudes expressing the mantra of live, laugh, and love create societies such as those we're now experiencing?
Watch as you see a woman in a brown jacket running alongside the moving shuttle bus, with a massive group of bus users chasing down the bus in an attempt to board it. In response to the scene at the Franklin LRT station, Calgary Transit says in a statement, as soon as we are made aware of a situation, Calgary Transit promptly deploys shuttles to assist customers. In this case, 13 shuttles have been deployed. Transit ambassadors are also on site, helping customers with wayfinding and directing them to the shuttles. During the mad rush to catch a bus, this man says this is something he's seen before.
Yeah, in my homeland like this.
Yeah. Does it remind you of your homeland? Where's your homeland?
Punjab.
And it's like this?
Yeah.
Hi everyone, just to let you know, I have some old favorites as well as new t-shirt designs on sale right now. Link to find them is in the description, and would like to thank you in advance, as it really does help the channel, as for years now, content like this has been put into an algorithmic black hole, as well as being demonetized. So thanks again, as well as I'm pretty sure you'll find something you will like. To begin with, the sad arc of the eggless Stacy finally realizing, much too late in life I might add, that she all of a sudden wants to have a family but has wasted her best years for childbearing, being one of those that shouts from the mountaintops, "You go, girl! You go!" Well, this sad arc is long, but it bends toward justice for the individual, but with dire consequences for society as a whole. I, like many, think that social media, especially TikTok and Instagram, well, the consequences of these platforms will be a disaster for not only women, but the entire human race. The emotional exhibitionism that you see people sending off into the void of the internet, similar to that of Cornelia at the beginning of this video, is just in its early stages. And this incredible journey of narcissism, the likes of which human history has never seen, is for the fact that we lacked the technology to do so up until this point. And I believe the screeching and the hissing will get a lot worse in the coming years as these incredible narcissists grow older. The influencer at the beginning of this video, Cornelia, well, she gives relationship advice and has a podcast, because of course she does, and has built her brand around never settling for anything but the best. 6 feet, 6 inches, 6 figures at the very least, or forget about it. A man lacking these credentials is not good enough for her, and she tells her eager audience the same should apply to them. Now, I should say that all of this would be fine, except for the fact that these women are influencing younger women to follow in their sad footsteps, and many girls don't have the presence of mind to actually consider if their favorite luxury brand bedecked influencer flying off to Dubai to engage in fecal splattering gigs with the local chic are actually happy with their lives. Most of them simply care, well, what they care about is she living a glamorous life, and that's enough for their legions of fans to desire to emulate. But no matter how much social engineering you attempt to employ, you cannot beat nature, as Cornelia is finding out, just as Candace Bushnell, the creator of Sex and the City, who herself influenced tens of millions of women, well, she now knows that she'll never have a family and has admitted that she regrets choosing career over having children, as she is now, quote, truly alone, closed quote. Sadly, a key byproduct of feminism that was never highlighted when popularizing the child-free lifestyle of an independent, strong woman riding the carousel into her 30s, living, laughing, and loving, is that when the idea of having children suddenly pops into their head, 90% of her eggs are not in an optimal condition to procreate. So sorry, ladies, no refunds. Now, there are many, especially men, that think that these women deserve everything that they have coming to them, and ending up alone and without children for the toxicity and, putting it bluntly, antenatal and anti-human ideologies that they have been spewing for decades. I personally can't feel anything but sadness for these women and their ghost families that surround them. But I can say from personal experience, many of these women become very, very bitter later in life. And it should be noted that it's actually very bad for society, because when this happens, these bitter old wine ants, well, many of them dedicate the rest of their lives toward destroying society for everyone who actually wants to be a happy family by voting for governments and policies that redistribute from families to themselves and, for all intent and purpose, make daddy government their husbands, at least financially. And it's time to come clean and say the absolute truth, because nobody is winning in this social paradigm that has been constructed over the past 50 years or so. And it's gotten so bad that approximately 45% of women between the ages of 25 and 44 will be childless and single by 2030. This is our civilization dying, not with a bang, but with a whimper. And it's not something to rejoice over. Even Elon Musk is raising the alarm and warning that the world, and by that he means the industrial world, is on the brink because of the collapse in the birth rate. And with the birth rates across the developed world continuing to plummet, and as the estrangement of the sexes continues to get worse, well, the leaders of whatever economic zone you currently live in, those economic zones used to be called countries, well, the solution is to import endless amounts of people from distinctly different cultures. And this is making the original inhabitants of developed nations, or economic zones as they should rightly be called in the 21st century, it makes them feel even more alienated and is causing even more social friction. Because waiting in line only works if you can expect others to do the same. We have civilization, or we have a swarm. We have children, or we import others to have the children we refuse to have. Live, laugh, love. While it might be uncomfortable to admit it, women have a very finite time window to procreate, unlike men. And once having children becomes a cost-benefit analysis, well, the culture that produces such individuals that use such a lens, well, that culture is already heading toward the dustbin of history, because only one thing matters in nature: natalism. And on a side note, have you ever noticed, especially like the videos at the beginning of Cornelia Slunjiski, when talking about her fabulousness and her not ever needing a man unless he worships her and she needs to go, girl? Well, have you ever noticed that they talk as though they're talking with, or should I say talking to, children? Now, my personal pet theory or reason for this is that I think that as some women grow older and miss the opportunity to have children themselves, well, they may start to mentally project those unfulfilled maternal feelings onto other people and long for the connection they have had or could have had with their own children. Maybe, maybe not. So, live, laugh, love. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and check to see that you're still subscribed, as YouTube has unsubscribed tens of thousands of people from channels like this without their knowledge or consent. If you'd like to help this channel, ways of doing so are in the description, as is a link to the fabulous merchandise as seen at the beginning of this video. So thanks again, and I will see you in the next video. Give me your thoughts in the comment section below also. So bye for now.